Hello, welcome to a special Oktoberfest edition of Spirit Cocktails, and I'm your host, PR Rare. This is something completely different because we're actually doing a blind taste testing. These are all mixed up. I mean, these are all the ones in there, but I don't know what is what. They're all where they are. At the end, we're going to find out which is the better tasting the Oktoberfest beer, because there are so many Oktoberfest beers in the market. This only scratches the surface. This is only 7 beers. There's more, but it gets kind of expensive if you want to try and buy them all. But just to give you an idea of which one's the better one, so you're basically getting the best bang for your buck. On average, most Oktoberfest beers that I've seen, as far as like a 6-pack around here in Jersey, it's like $10 for a 6-pack. Some might be $8.99, some might be cheaper, like $7.99. Depends on the actual brand and the availability of it. You got like Hacker-Pschorr. This took me forever to find. I've been searching for this for years. Nobody ever had it. I've seen it on different sites. Obviously, if anybody knows Oktoberfest, if you go to Germany, Hacker-Pschorr is one of the best ones there. It's basically the tourist capital of Oktoberfest in Munich, Germany. And then last year, first time I ever seen Yuengling, and Yuengling is pretty good. The only ones of all these I've ever tried was the Hacker-Pschorr, obviously same as Oktoberfest because obviously that's most commonly available, and Yuengling. The other ones I haven't really tried, so I don't even know what they taste like. So these 3 I do know, the rest I don't know. So it's going to be definitely a blind tasting for me because I don't know what these are going to taste like. But I'm going to give you some pointers on, see what's the better tasting, which has the most authentic Oktoberfest flavor to it, and which one you should buy, if not all. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to taste them, and at the end I'm going to match them up to see which ones they are and let you know. Let's see how this one is. It's not real hoppy. It's definitely a nice amber color, a nice head to it. It has a lot of sweetness to it. It's really actually not that bad. Kind of get a it's like a slight citrus taste to it. This is actually a really good one because it's not too harsh. Most Oktoberfest beers you get, they're really hoppy. They have a lot of pungency to it. Because German beer is fairly pungent. It has like kind of a bit of a skunky flavor to it. Like if you ever had Heineken or St. Pauli's Girl, they have that bit of a skunky flavor. Not as bad flavor, but it's something that's a little bit more of a potency to it. This is actually really smooth. It's not real potent. It has a nice flavor. So far, this is actually a really good one, so let's put that one aside. Let's try this one out. Yeah, that one has a little bit more of a bitterness to it. It's kind of like a bittersweet flavor. A little tartness, a little more hoppy flavor to that. I'm not really that big on hoppy beers. I like a nice smooth flavor to it. If you love hops, this is actually one you probably would like. It's a nice aroma, a nice dark color, not real dark. It kind of grows on you after a while though, but you definitely get that bitter hop flavor to it. So let's keep that one to the side, but right now this is actually the one I like the most. Let's try this one. This one has like a nice amber color, almost kind of reddish. Nice head. Nice aroma. Try it out. The initial sip, it's kind of bland. It doesn't really have that potent, like authentic Oktoberfest flavor as you get with most German beers or anything of Munich, Germany. It's kind of bland, but it does have in the back end a little bit of a bitterness to it. So you do get the hops, but it's a very mild hop flavor. It's not bad. It's actually pretty good, but it doesn't have like a really potent taste to it. It's just like drinking kind of watered down beer. It's not exactly that. It's good, but it's not that potent and authentic to Oktoberfest, but it's good. So that's kind of like in between, because I kind of like it, kind of don't like it. It's just because it doesn't have that much of a flavor. So let's try this one out. You see, this is a lot lighter, a little bit more of a head. Nice aroma. Yeah, that's a little bit skunky. You get that German flavor, that German skunkiness that you usually get with some of these Oktoberfest beers. In authentic wise, it definitely hits that. Not real hoppy, but it definitely has a bit of a pungent flavor to it. Whereas this is nice, sweet, smooth. I can just sit there and drink this stuff all day. This one is really mild, like you're basically barely tasting anything at all, except that a subtle hoppiness to it. A little bit in the back end, you're getting that bitter. This one is really hoppy, but it's not bad. This one kind of tastes... It's skunky. It definitely has, on the back end, a lot of bitterness to it. So, yeah, me, I don't like that one. You may like the skunky, bitter flavor at the back end, but not me. Try this one. As you see, this is the lightest out of all of them. Ooh, definitely has a bit of a potency to it in the smell. Decent head. Nice froth. Now that one's skunky. It has a decent bitter flavor to it. It's mild hoppiness, but you're getting a lot of bitterness in there. The smell doesn't even match the way it tastes to me. Yeah, that's definitely authentic German. So in the aspect of German style beers, this is actually definitely a good one. But the skunky, if you're not real big on the skunky flavors, like a more mild, sweet flavor, this may not be for you. So I'm going like kind of in between. This is a pretty good brown color to it. Nice head. Not as frothy as some of the other ones. Some of the other ones are really frothy. Let's try this one out. Kind of mild. Actually has a bit of more of a spice to it. It's a slight bitterness in the end. It's not bad, it's just kind of, it's pungent. Definitely could taste some of the hops with that. So that one kind of will go on the side. It's not as great, but it's okay. Now the last one, you see it's a nice golden amber color to it. It's good head. A sweet smell to it. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm going to move this to the good side. Just because it's not too potent, but it has a good flavor to it. It's just enough of hops. It definitely has that margin flavor that you usually get with the Oktoberfest beer. More into that season. It's not a real bitter bite at the back end as you get with like some of these other ones here, because they were pretty bitter in the back end, but this is actually pretty smooth. It's a nice flavor with a bit of spice to it. So that I actually kind of like. So that would go there. So these three, a little too bitter for me. If you like bitter beers, you might like them. This one is a little too skunky. It's not as great. I mean, if you like that authentic German beer, that would be great for you, because this is the most to October, or most to German style beer as you get with most other ones. And it's more of a light ale color. It's not like your standard dark color as you get with all these other ones. So that's definitely standing out from all the other ones here. So these three in my opinion, are the best out of the 7. So let's try them again to get like another base reading, see what would be the better of them. Move these out. I taste nutmeg with that one, actually, surprisingly. They have like allspice. I like that one. That's actually kind of smooth. Try these. Yeah, this one is just a smooth, mild flavor in the beginning. You get a bit of the bitterness with the hops at the end. So this is kind of more of a balance because you get best of both worlds. This is kind of like an all-around, but a lot more spice to it. And this one, it's actually, that's a really smooth, mild flavor to it. It's, the sweetness kind of brings out the flavor a little bit more. It's actually really, really good. I think of these two would be like kind of definitely ones you might want to look at because they're good. These, if you like bitterness, oh, if you like skunky, I say get this one. But if you like a bitter, hoppy type beer, I'd say these Oktoberfest beers. A mild with just a slight hoppiness in the back end, I say these two because they're both really good. But this one, this is the best flavored one I ever had. It's a nice sweet flavor to it. It has just enough hops to it, and not a real bitter flavor as you get with some of these other ones here. So of all 7 of these, this one actually is the best one. Now I did this ahead of time. I don't know what cup is what because they're all mixed around, so you definitely can't tell what they are. But I got the results. So in order from 1 to 7, this one is a number 4. So Goose Island. So in my opinion, Goose Island is actually the best of all 7 of these beers. So I definitely suggest you try that one out. It's a really, really good flavor. It's about $10 that I paid for it because all of these were about $10 for a 6-pack. So that's like $70 I spent in one shot. It's a lot of money just to do a taste testing, but it's something that I wanted to do because I love Oktoberfest beer. I love Oktoberfest. The German food is delicious. The festivities, just everything about Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest is the one thing that actually got me into the whole drinking concept in the first place, which started the whole idea as beer cocktails. So I figured I've been wanting to do this. I just haven't had the venue to do it. Now I do. I got the site, and you get to see which one is the better. So as right now, Goose Island is the best. It's kind of weird because it's the middle one of all of them is actually the better one. Now these two, because this one was the kind of a more of a spicy flavor to it with a little bit of hoppiness. This one is number 5, which is the Beck's. So Beck's would be probably your second best one you might want to look into getting. As I said, it's a very good flavor, but it has a more of a hoppiness, but not a strong hoppiness as you get with some other Oktoberfest beers. Now the third one is number 2, which is a no-brainer. Oh, I like it. Sam Adams Oktoberfest. This is one of my first ones ever trying for Oktoberfest. I'm surprised that didn't get number 1 because that one, I love that one. That's probably why it made it into here. But it's definitely a good flavor to it. It's not strong in hoppiness. It's just a mild flavor, but definitely has a bit of pungency to it. But it's good. But I would always say, of these 3, Beck's is the best. Well, for me, this will be the second best, but they both have good flavor. If you like a nice spice flavor to it, I'd say this one. If you like a nice all-round flavor, I'd say the Sam Adams Oktoberfest. And this one for a nice, sweet, smooth, very flavorful drinking experience, I would say the Goose Island, which is actually really good. I'm surprised. Now the other ones, just for the hell of it, so you know what they are. The number 7, which is, wow, a really bitter back end to it. Surprisingly, it's a Yinling Oktoberfest. So, it's weird. It has a nice smooth start, but a bitter finish. So if you don't mind a bitter finish, but you like a smooth start, Yinling, it's not a bad drink. It's just, after you drink a few of these, you're going to taste that bitterness. It's going to cover your palate, and you're going to taste a lot of that at the end. That's why that one didn't get the win, and that one did. This one was the skunky one, also the lightest color. Definitely the most authentic German flavor, which was number 1, which is the Hofbrauhaus. If you like Oktoberfest, if you ever get a chance to go to Germany, I guarantee most of my fans are actually in Germany, you gotta check out their tent just for the fact that that is the biggest tent. It's mostly a tourist tent. You get a lot of people in there. It's like thousands and thousands of people. I've seen pictures where it looks like a sea of ants because it's all people. There's like hundreds and thousands of people. But it's the best tent out there. But the flavor is kind of skunky. But it's the most authentic German, which is probably why it's the most popular one there, because it's the most authentic. But as far as flavor, I still go with Gooseneck. Now this one was number 3, which is the Hacker, which I still can't pronounce. Hacker-Pschorr, something. That one. However you pronounce that. Any German fans out there, tell me how to pronounce that, because I don't have a clue. That one has a really, really, really bitter back end. That one I just really don't like. It has like a lot of spice in the front, but it's just really bitter. So that one I can't sit there and drink a lot of. That one I don't really suggest. The last one was number 6, obviously, so that's your Saranac. Which is bitter right from the start. Yeah. That's when going back, you forget which ones you tasted as far as flavor-wise. But that one, unless you really like, as I'm saying, if you like bitter beers, if you like the hoppy flavor, then you would love these. And yeah, I don't like bitter flavor. I like a nice, sweet, smooth, something I can sit there and just down one after another, and then be perfectly fine. Well, I won't be exactly perfectly fine, be a little bit drunk. But flavor-wise, my palate would be pretty pleased. The bitter ones I don't like much. It doesn't really please my palate that much. So I wouldn't go with any of the bitter beers. But nice, sweet. Yeah, number 4. The best one. Nice, sweet, all-around balanced flavor. And you have the Beck's. A nice, spiced, with a slight bitter back end. There's really good flavor to it. And then you have the number 2, my all-time favorite, Sam Adams, which is all around good, with just a very mild bitterness to the end. But my number 1 pick is a Gooseneck. If you can find Gooseneck in your area, I definitely suggest you try that out, because in my opinion, it's one of the best flavored ones out of these 7. As I said, this only scratches the surface. There are so many Oktoberfest beers, because Oktoberfest is one of the most popular times of the year as far as drinking beer stuff. So everybody tries to get in the market. So you got this, and you got so many more you can try out. But for a nice, good, just drinking experience and just enjoy yourself, I definitely suggest the Goose Island. You'll love it. I love it. I said you're drinking stuff all day. I'm probably down the whole 6-pack by the time I'm done this video. Probably can't because I gotta go work, but yeah. But that's basically my review, blind taste testing. So you get an idea of the flavors and which ones are the better. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you learned a lot about these different Oktoberfest beers. I hope you get a chance to enjoy Oktoberfest. Even if it's just something to have at your friend's house. Maybe get like a bonfire going like I'm going to do this weekend. Have like a bonfire, tons of bratwurst and some wiener schnitzel, and maybe some potato pancakes. Man, I can't wait to try this. It's gonna be a lot of food, a lot of good beer. I mean, a lot of good beer. You can't have an Oktoberfest without a lot of the beer. You gotta have fun with it. Enjoy the food. It's a lot of good flavor food. Enjoy it. If you get a chance to go to some of the events that are around the country, try them out. Let me know what you think about it. Because I haven't actually been to any of these events. I always have my own Oktoberfest at home. So let me know what your experiences are. Because eventually I do want to go to one of these because I hear they're phenomenal. Especially one that says like free beer. You pay so much for the tokens, you get free refills. You don't have to ever pay again. Make you drunk quicker. But I hope you enjoyed this. Definitely like us on Facebook on Splash Shirt Cocktails. Subscribe to our channel. Comment below. Let me know your opinions on the beer. If you don't like the nice, sweet, smooth flavor, which I don't know why, let me know. If you like bitter, skunky ass flavor as like the Oktoberfest house, because you're more traditional, let me know. And as always, drink responsibly.